Now, one of the things that I teach is motor adaptations to pain. A lot of it's going to come from previous injuries, from a physical point of view. So if I know we were going to chat about knee pain tonight, so again, just starting to ask the questions around previous injuries and starting to link those to their symptoms and showing them the value of actually their knee pain could be driven by somewhere else, as stupid as that sounds and as basic it is to us. The amount of people that will completely change their tone because you're the first person that's linked an old previous injury to their knee pain. Now, what you need to do is you need to put that into context of their story, and when you get that right, what the vast majority of patients will say to you is, right, that makes sense, because they start to put the pieces of the puzzle together then where actually, okay, I'm not loading certain tissues, that's overloading the knee, and I'm getting that pain. And if you can ask about previous injuries on the phone call, that's adding a lot of value to them, because you're starting to, as I said, put the pieces of the puzzle together. You're giving them a little bit of value. And then what we like to do as well is almost give them a couple of quick wins as well. And just like we do with the marketing with Paul, it's all about giving value up front. And I think I was very skeptical initially with discoveries and in not giving exercises and stuff like that, whereas actually now what we're finding is, we need to give them some real quick wins up front, and the more we give them the quick wins, the more the skepticism goes in value.
I love it. I remember when you looked at my stuff and I was talking to you on the phone. You looked at my hip and I was talking to you on the phone, and I think you'd asked me, if I had a hamstring injury or something in the past. I was like, shit, yeah. And all of a sudden the dots connected, and I'd gone from like 2 years. I'd gone probably through this like hip problem for 2 years, and I kept mentioning it to you at the end of our coaching calls. And I was like, someday I'll get around to asking you it properly. And then one day I'm like, all right, let's take a look at this thing for me. He's like, have you ever had a hamstring injury? And I was like, yeah, actually, about 9 years ago, I ripped it playing cricket. Like, it was a horrible blood, all bleeding down my leg, and could barely sleep and walk for weeks. And it kind of is like, well, it's probably something from that. And I remember thinking that makes, like, exactly the phrase that you've used tonight. That makes sense, right? And I remember thinking, it all makes sense now. Why I've got the problem, why my groins hurt, why my hip works, why no matter how much I exercise my hip or my groin, the hamstring just literally wasn't working. And from that point, I remember saying to Natalie, I'm going to Dave's clinic to get this fixed. And Dave's like 2.5 hours away from me, right? I'd been lethargic about this thing for 2 years. And all of a sudden, because he connected the dots, I was willing to get in a car and travel 2.5 hours to get it looked at for a 45-minute session. He's so right in what he says, that you're fighting not the idea of telehealth or money or whatever. If you can't get them to connect the dots, they don't take action, whether it's a telephone or whether it's in the clinic. And it really is going down to your subjective skills to get them to loosen up a little, to get them to, this guy knows something, because he's able to magically connect the fact that I've got a hip problem and it's probably coming from a hamstring injury that I hadn't told him about 10 years ago. And I think that's where you start to become an expert, and then people want to move forward with you after that.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to become a digital healthcare expert and provide your services to patients around the world, head to paulgough.com/telehealth to get full access to the Telehealth Income Explosion course. On this course, you have access to all of the marketing material to get your digital practice running, along with weekly live calls just like this. Again, if you want to become a telehealth expert while you're working in your clinic or from home, head to paulgough.com/telehealth. Thanks so much.